I was like, oh, so far so good. I was waiting for the gate
Which
to open.
passport is he looking at? The English or the
British one.
Oh, okay. All right.
All of a sudden, he gives it back to me without stamping it. I was like, and he goes, sorry, no, he didn't give it back to me. But he put something on the counter and he said, okay, we just need to check it. Have a seat over there. No, imagine this in Russia.
I've done that,
Someone
yeah.
will be with you in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was about 45 minutes, yeah?
Of course.
And then a lady came over, young lady, very pretty, in uniform, very friendly, spoken like perfect English, asked me like what I was doing, what I wanted to do, what my plans were, how much money I had, like all sorts of questions. Yeah?
About your private and professional life.
And then she asked me about my history in Russia. So I told her, look, I used to live here, I used to work here, came back worked again. That I was here during the World Cup. She said, oh yeah, cool. She wrote it down and that. And she's looking at my passport and she's like, so you said you were in Russia in 2018, 2017, no, 2015. I was like, yeah. She's like, but your passport is empty except for this one visa. How can you explain it? I was like, well, I actually have a second passport. She looks at this guy as if to say, you boy Mali, I've not seen
You're a Russian spy.
And I was like, oh yeah, look here, this and that. And I'm showing her the pages. She goes, oh, okay, yeah, I understand now, that makes sense. She goes, okay, look, I'm going to check what you've just told me. But if everything you've told me is true, she said, welcome to Russia. So I was like, oh, that's great. She said, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right? I was like, it's going to be at least 20. It was 1.5 hours, right? 1.5 hours. And it wasn't even her that came back. It was a guy who was really miserable. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He took me down these stairs into this room. And it was kind of like something from a movie, you know. There was like no windows, there was a metal door, it was very uncomfortable. And there was these 2 guys waiting inside, and they had no uniform, no names. They didn't tell me their name, they didn't tell me they worked for, plain clothes. And these guys were FSB, I think, you know. They're very secretive, you know. They didn't say the name or anything. Whereas the other guys were like, okay, my name is Elena, whatever it was, you know. And they sat me down, and they asked me every question the lady asked me, plus 200 more. They were asking me, what I feel they were doing was, they were asking me so many questions, they were trying to overwhelm me and maybe see if I like, you know, panicked or something. But I was calm, and what I've been doing is, on the flight from Turkey to Moscow, I was drinking so much. So when they were asking me a question, I was giving them really long answers. And he went from like, this guy was interrogating me. Went from like being like leaning in and really happy with his interrogation. Like, but what about this and that? So it got to the point where I told a story that was so long. He was like looking at his watch, and he looked bored. He was looking at the wall, and he was like, when is this guy going to shut up? And in the end, he just goes, okay. And I was like, what does that mean? And the guy said, I was letting you in. I was like, okay, cool. But, to be honest, I will say though, these FSB guys, they were, I wouldn't say polite, because they weren't like English kind of polite, but for Russian, they were very polite and they were very professional, and they weren't rude or they didn't try to like scare me or anything. They were very professional.
I've heard of guys that have gone like 5-hour interrogations trying to leave.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Trying to leave?
Trying to leave, which doesn't make sense at all.
Well, you think not. I mean, how can they leave after a 5-hour interrogation as well, you know? But
I'm
on
sure
the next flight,
yeah, the next flight gone already, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.